Welcome everybody. Today we're going to start with our basic home plan. Now, what that means is this. I've got a basic plan that we use we use with our classes, and I'm going to walk through a tutorial about how I would draw the floor plan, etc. in AutoCAD. Now, that said, we're going to do this in multiple parts, so be prepared. And if you want to, you can follow right along with us. And I'm going to work right off the set of plans that are the master set so that you understand what we're doing. So if you want to know what the master set looks like, I'll upload them later and they'll be in the course. But right now I want you to just take a few minutes and familiarize yourself with our interface. Now, our interface right here, I'm going to do a few shortcuts. I've got a template pre-made for everybody. So I'm actually going to go up here. I'm not going to open a base file. I'm actually going to get rid of this one and open our template. So I go open file, and our template's set up so it is on our shared network in our place. So I'm just going to go in here, our shared, and there's our AutoCAD file, and there's the architectural template right there. We open it up. It's got the title block set, doesn't have any extra sheets made, but we can clone this sheet later and make more sheets as we need to. I'm going to go into the model space here, and I'm going to do a zoom extent so you can see we've gone to, as we talk about it, we'll go to some of the websites. We've downloaded like their standard details. We use that as a talking point about how to get details from manufacturers so that you get them right in your floor plans. We've got a typical wall section down here, but I'm just going to draw off in our space over here. Now, first thing, our layers are made. So I'm going to pull this down so you can see what we got for layers. So we've got anything's prefixed with a 1 is the first floor, anything's prefixed with a 2 is a second or upper floor, and anything that's a 3D is for a three-dimensional plan if we choose to model it that way. But like I said, this is AutoCAD. If I wanted to do that, I'd go to a BIM software like Revit or ArchiCAD or one of those others, Chief, etc. Basements are B for our basements and foundations. E is for our elevations, etc., etc. And you go down here, P is for property. Okay. As you notice, we're already on wooden walls. Great. Now, one thing I do want to point out, all of my construction layers are this color right here. It's actually color 241. It stands out really nice on our black background that I draw on. And so that way, if I ever see that, I know those are construction lines. They won't print because they're set up in my print manager over here on my layer controls as no print layers. See, these are all non-printables. Okay. If I can turn them on if I want, but right now, whatever. Okay. So I'm on one wall still, and I'm going to just simply start with a polyline, and my units and limits are already set. And I'm literally going to go in here and I'm going to start with my floor plan at the front of the house and work my way around. I'm actually going to start on what would be the lower right-hand corner of the exterior wall. Now, this house does have a brick veneer, but I'm drawing to the stud, the finish wall on this. So I'm going to start right down here and just, like I said, start with a polygon and just get it started on a point and just point straight over to my right. And I'm going to type in 13 feet because that's how big that first wall is. Now I'm going to point it straight back, and I'm going to use my dimension over here that it actually has it at 8 feet. So I'm actually going to point this straight back and go 8 feet, 8 apostrophe, or I type in 96 inches, honestly. Then I'm going to point straight to my right again and go 17 feet. Now, that's the front of my house so far, and it is really and truly roughly 13 in one direction and 17 to the other half of it. And then I'm going to go back, straight back on the side of my house, 32 feet. And then we go straight across my house. Now, I'm literally going back and forth over here. Well, 17 and 13 gets me 10, 30 feet. So I'm going to 30 feet across. And I should be able to just simply close this to finish it, and it should all be straight. So that gets me my outline of my home. So all I did here is I started a line, picked a point. Okay, I'm actually going to draw one right next to it so you can see exactly what I did here. I did a polyline. I picked a spot, pointed it in the direction I want to go, told it to go 13 feet, then literally back 8 feet. I can also type in 96 inches if I want because I know 8 feet is 96 inches. Then I went 17 feet over, and then I went 32 feet straight back, and then I came over this way. What is that, 30 feet? Because 13 and 17 is 30, not 30 inches. Control Z for one step. 30 apostrophe for feet, and then I just simply close that shape to make my outline of my home. Okay, same thing, two different ways. Got it? You can actually type in all the commands if you want. Now, because this is the outside of my house, I'm going to start with some basics here. I'm literally going to go offset, and I'm going to tell it to have a 6-inch offset. We draw for 2x6 exterior walls with a 1/2 inch of OSB on them. That's rounded, but that'll get me a 6-inch exterior wall. So I get that put on. Now, next thing I do is I come over and I double check on my plans. And like I said, I'm working on my plans while we're working here. So I'm going to start with a couple things here. I'm going to literally go like this and explode this polyline because honestly, I don't want it as a polyline anymore. I want it in individual pieces. This first window goes in the middle of this wall. So I'm just going to mark a spot dead center. Okay. Now, next one. I'm going to mark a line right here. And I'm actually going to mark a line right here that will become handy in a minute. I'm going to move this second line I made by typing. Okay, let me show you what I did. I drew the line. It's on top of the other one. I will highlight it with a window option. I'll type in M for move and press enter. Pick a spot right here. Drag it straight to my left and tell that to move 6 foot 10 inches. Okay. I could also type in 82 and give me the same thing. It's at 82 inches. I'm going to do the same thing right here. I'm going to move this line straight over this way. So I just picked the line, picked a base point away from it that I could grab and make sure I didn't touch anything awkward. Drag it straight over here to my right, and I'm going to tell that to go 2'4", which is also 28 inches. Okay. Now from here, I can offset some things. So I'm going to go O enter for offset. And I'm going to offset my window sizes. Well, this window right here is a 5050, and this is a 6050. So I'm going to go offset, and I'm going to type in 30 inches because I'm in the middle here. I'm going to go 30 to the right, and then pick that same line and go 30 to the left. Now let's hit enter and do this again. So I'm going to go back to O enter for offset. This time I'm going to go, because this window right here is 6 foot. I'm going to go 36 inches, so 36, that's 3 feet. From this line to the right and from this line to the left. Okay, so this line and this line that mark the centers of those are actually now gone because they're just construction lines. One more time, offset, enter. This is a 36-inch door because it's a 3068 door, so I'm going to actually go in here and do 18 inches, enter. Once to the right, once to the left, and then I'm going to delete the construction line right here, erase it. Okay, and all I do is highlight it, type E, enter, and it goes away. Now I can go in here and go trim, and if I do trim and press enter, it asks me what I want to use as a selector or trim edge, cutting edge. I'm going to hit enter once, and then anything I cross will become a cutting edge. So see how that works? I'm going to do it again right here. So I'm going to hit enter to get out of the command. I go TR for trim, enter. Now, if I hit this line, it becomes a cutting edge. See how it kind of highlights it? If I don't want to select anything specifically, I just hit enter one more time. And then anything that crosses will be trimmed off with something else. But it all has to be on the view plane. Okay. It all has to fit on the screen at the time. Okay. That means I can't trim stuff back here. Okay. Unless I pan out so I can see it. Okay. So there's our first really honest to goodness window set in. Now, I'm going to do a couple more windows. There's 2 along the back and a couple down the one side of the building. So I'm going to actually have to go in and do those really careful like. So let's do that again. So I'm going to go line, and I'm literally going to click here and drag straight down. And it's right on top of this other line. So now I go move, enter, and then I select around that. See, the only thing that's selected by this window option is stuff that's completely enclosed. If I had used the crossing option, which goes green, anything that was touched or enclosed would be selected. So I'm using the window option, so I only get the one line. I press enter. I just grab a spot in space right here. Then I can drag pointing straight to my right. And I'm going to go 10 feet to mark the center of that window. Now, there's another window that is actually, well, let's do some math here. To the center of the wall, it's actually over 4 foot and 16 inches, which is 5'4". So I'm actually going to go this and go offset, 5'4" enter. From here over. Now, how I got that is from here to the corner of the wall on my plans is actually 2'10", and the next one to the center, 2'6", and the next one is 2'10". Well, 2 foot and 2 foot is 4 foot, and then I've got 16 inches besides that, which gets me 5'4", because 16 inches is 1'4". So it's 2 feet and 2 feet and 1 foot 4 inches all together. So that's 5 feet 4 inches. Okay. Now I'm in the middle of those 2 windows. I can go offset and I can mark them out. Now they're both 3.0 windows. One's a 3.0, looks like 1.0, and the other one is a 3.050. So, but either way, it's 18 inches wide for both of them. So from here to the right, from here to the left, from here to the right, from here to the left. So I use that as a center mark there and there to mark my rights and lefts of each of those. Now, again, their construction, I'll delete them. I'll use the trim function to get rid of the parts I don't want and leave the holes for my windows. Okay, now I'm going to do this again. Now this time I'm going to use an offset command because I can go offset 11 feet from this wall straight down to the center of that window. There's a window in this wall. It's actually in the master bedroom. And there's another one that's over, well, I have to do the math again. It's actually over 2'10" plus 5 foot plus 2'6". Well, we already know that 2 foot and 2 foot is 4 and 5 is 9. So I've got 9 feet, 16 inches because I got 10 and 6 for my inches. Well, that's another foot and 4 inches. So that's 9 foot plus a foot 4, that's 10 foot 4 inches over. I can go offset 10 foot 4 inches, pick this line, below it. There's my window center right there. Now, I'm going to hit the escape key and make sure, hit it a couple of times so I cancel any commands I'm in. So there's the middle of my windows. That is literally all of the windows down that side of the house. Now, both of those windows are 3.0 windows again. One is 3.050, one is 3.010. Okay, so I'm going to offset, enter. I'm going to go 18 inches, enter. Pick this one, pick above. Pick it again and pick below. Pick this line, pick above, pick this line, pick below. Again, those were construction lines as far as I'm concerned. I will delete them. Okay, delete. And now it's just a case I'm going to hit escape key, make sure I'm not anything. TR, enter, enter. Get rid of these, get rid of this, get rid of this. And I have now made most of the holes in the exterior of my house. There's a door on this other side over here. I need to mark it in. Well, it's actually 8 feet down from the corner, so it literally is a offset one more time. And I go 8 feet or 96 inches, same thing, from here downward. It is a 3068 door, so I'm going to offset the 18 inches once from this line above and once from that same line and below, and then erase this line, and then trim, enter, enter, this stuff out here and this out here. Okay, now what? Well, let's keep drawing it just exactly how the plans show. So I need to start with some dimensions. One of the first ones is, I know I've got a bearing wall that runs all the way through the house. Well, I know what means I got a wall that goes from here straight back. Now I'm just going to draw it straight back until it goes perpendicular to this wall. Now I'm going to actually type in PER for perpendicular in my AutoCAD, force it to be perpendicular to that line right there, and hit enter. Now I clicked and then hit enter as well to get out of the command. This line right here, the way it's drawn on the plan, is actually not a true bearing wall. It's just a divider wall. It might bear a load, but this house is only 30 feet across. A normal roof truss can span that. And so honestly, it doesn't need one. It's for a crawl space or slab on grade construction. So I'm actually going to offset the 3.5 inches that is the interior wall right here. Now, in my classroom, we do our interior walls that are just partition walls as 3.5. Now, that's not bearing walls, that's not plumbing walls. The reason they are 3.5 is honestly because that's how big a 2x4 is. Okay, it's a 1.5 by 3.5. And when I build a wall out of a 2x4, my framers are going to build it and they need to know the dimensions. The drywallers are going to come in and cover them. So I don't get too much into other dimensions with that. Okay, now here's the next thing I got to do. I'm going to offset. We use offset a lot for our stuff. I'm going to offset the distance of the bathroom. That's this back area right here. Well, it's 9 foot 4 inches from this wall to the outside of the bathroom partition wall that goes right there. So I'm literally going to offset that 9 foot 4, enter. And when I pick this line and pick below it, that is the outside edge of the wall. So I can actually go offset again and type in 3.5. And because there's no plumbing in this wall, I'll go right here. Oops, gotta do that right. Offset 3.5. Pick this, pick above it. Okay, that is where my plumbing wall is, or my partition wall is for that bathroom. The trick is the plumbing wall from the front edge here to its interior edge into the bathroom interior is 5 foot 4 inches. So I'm literally going to offset 5 feet 4, enter, from here over. And then I'm going to go offset again. And I'm going to go 5.5 because that's how big a 2x6 is. So we go offset 5.5. This is a plumbing wall here because it's going to have the drains and stuff in it. So now I can extend EX, enter, enter, because it's just like the reverse of a trim, and extend that out. I can go trim, enter, enter, and get rid of this out here. And if I really want to be obnoxious, I can start trimming out these little pieces in here. Okay. So there is my plumbing wall. There is my bathroom here. Now, I do have an issue with this. A normal bathtub fits inside a 5.0 bathroom, and that's what I would normally do. This will very likely, the way it's drawn, if I don't have a special bathtub, will actually have about a 4-inch gap right here on one edge. Okay. In my bathroom, I would have drawn this. I would have actually taken that 2'10" side and robbed, basically 4 inches off it, which would make it a 2'6" centered bathtub. Okay. But we've not taken that into account here. So they've drawn their nominal walls at 5.5. So honestly, let's look at this distance from this corner here to this corner here. I've got 5 feet and half inch. Okay. If I want to be really on the ball with this, I will actually move all of this way, literally 0.5, which gives me a funky corner down here that I can just use the fillet command to close. Okay. Now next, I got to put in a laundry room. Well, the laundry room is 8'4" across, but that takes into the wall, so it's actually going to be rounded down. Inside, from inside edge to inside edge of that laundry room is actually 8 feet. Okay, so I'm literally just going to go like this. Go offset 96 inches from here down. Offset. Enter, enter. So I go out of the command and back into the command. Offset 3.5 because this is not a plumbing wall again, like so. And I can now go fillet this line to that line and this line to that line, and that squares off that, leaves the partition all the way down through the house. Okay, I can trim by typing trim, enter, enter, pick out that piece I don't want, and I'm almost there with my kitchen. Now we're going to put in the kitchen the way the plan shows, and then we're going to make you reverse engineer it later and like flip the kitchen around and do some things, but bear with me on that for a moment. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, I know I have a wall that is from here out to the end of it 11 foot 4 inches. So I can literally go like this, offset 11 foot 4, enter, from this point here out, and then I can go like this and go fillet of this line to that line, and then I'm going to zoom in on it, fillet this from here to here. Now notice it trims away the extra stuff, but I don't want to use that same fillet command again because it's going to end up trimming my wall funny. So there's my walls placed in my house. I've got a couple more to do over here, which are a closet, walk-in closet, and another bath, which, you know, it's kind of a small house to have 2 baths and like 4 closets, but whatever. So here we go. Let's start with some obvious ones. Okay. Let's start with the easy one. From the back edge outside of the house here, offset, I'm going to go down 13 foot 6 inches. So 13 feet 6. Okay. Whoops, I did that wrong. Offset 13 feet 6 inches, enter, from here down. Now I'm going to put a partition wall right there, so I'm going to go offset 3.5 right here. Now that's the bedroom in this area. This line extends all the way over to here, so I'm going to type in EX, enter, and since I don't want to pick this as an extender, I'll just hit enter again and just go like this and highlight those, and extends it right across. Okay, same thing's going to happen on the other side, but in reverse. Trim, enter, enter, zoom in. I want to get rid of that line and these 2 lines. Okay, there is my master bedroom right here. Okay, now all I gotta do is offset a few things to get the closet. Well, it's 6'10" across the closet, so I'm gonna go offset 6 foot 10 inches, enter, from here over, enter. I'm gonna go back into offset and do a 3.5 inch wall right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna do a 2 foot closet. Okay, actually it's got 1'10" inside that closet. That's a pretty narrow closet, but okay. And it's actually got the wall, the 4-inch wall included there, so it's an 18-inch closet. So I'm going to go offset 18 inches, like that, and then offset again 3.5, like so. There's my closet space. I've got to get the back edge of this closet, which is 5 feet from here. It's 5 feet from the outside to the inside. Offset 60 inches from here down. Offset enter twice. 3.5. I'm going to offset this like so, and then I just need to do some trimming. So I'll trim, get rid of that. That wall actually continues down. This one doesn't. And in fact, it gets trimmed off in here like so, and this stuff needs to be trimmed off here and here, and it needs to be trimmed off there and there. I'm just rolling my mouse wheel to zoom, just in case you've forgotten that. Okay, and I'm pushing my mouse wheel down to pan. So there is my closet, my master's little walk-in closet, and this is where the bath is going to go in this hallway. And again, it's a 5 foot across this bathroom. Well, in that case, just go offset 60 inches, which is 5 feet from here down. Okay, now this is going to be a plumbing wall on this side, so I'm going to offset 5.5 inches for the plumbing in that wall right here. Okay, and then I've got a 2 foot closet. Okay, so I offset 24 inches from here down for that closet. I'm going to go offset back into offset 3.5 inches to get the front edge of that closet. Now there's a little hall closet that meets up here, so I'm going to actually extend this down. So I'm going to go extend. Actually, I'm going to use the fillet command to extend this to here, and let's use the fillet again to extend that to there. And I can offset now at 18 inches here back, and then I'm going to offset the 3.5 inches from here back, and I can, I hit the F1 button. I'm going to trim, enter, enter, get rid of that, zoom into this wall, get rid of this, 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 and this, as well as these pieces over here. And, oh, I missed one right there. Okay. Now I just got to cut some openings for doors, and I've got this done. So where do I put my doors? Once I do those doors, we're going to call it quits for this one, and we're going to go in and do doors as a different project. Okay, doors and windows. So I know I've got a 5060 door that's in the middle of this. So I'm going to do a line in the middle of that, straight out. We'll do a line in the middle of this and straight out. A line in the middle of this that goes straight out. So I'm going to use my O snaps to go straight out. This one's actually centered here as well in the middle of this wall. So notice I'm going to the short side edge. Oops, undo. Line. We got to make sure your line stays straight. If that doesn't happen, we will have a problem. This one actually sits in the middle of here as well. This one is going to be a different critter because it's got to be 3 inches over, and this one's right here is 7'10" from the inside edge of the house. So I'm going to go offset 7'10" from here down. There's the middle of that door, actually the edge of that door. I've got another one that goes right here, so I'm going to move this, draw a line through the wall, move this straight up. Now it's as close as I can get to the corner, which means that's going to be 3 inches over at least. So that's where that one falls. And then the bathroom up here is the same way, so I'm going to draw a line right into this corner, move that line, oops, move, enter, select the piece, enter, grab a spot I know I can control, take it up 3 inches, there it is. Okay, so let's cut out my door openings and call it good here. So I know this door is a 3068 right here, so I'm going to offset 36 here up. Okay, this laundry room door is also 36, 3'6'8", so it goes straight across. And then I've got one right here, but I've marked the middle, and I've got one in this bathroom, so I need to do a few things here. I forgot to mark in this bathroom door here, which I have to move this line down 3 inches. And then I've got to mark in a couple other little things here. So I'm going to do some offsets and some trims real quick. First off, trim, enter, enter, get rid of this and leave the opening from the living room into the hallway. Trim out this piece right here that is the door into the laundry room by trimming out that and then these two lines. And then now I've got to do some offsetting, and I'm going to go 18 inches from this to below and this to above. And I'm going to erase this one. So that marks that doorway. Okay, this doorway into this bedroom, this doorway into this closet, this doorway into this bathroom here are all 6 foot door or 2'6" doors. Okay, so I've got to do a couple things here. And I did make one mistake. I just noticed I need to extend that line, this line, all the way out to that way, and then trim them in like so. Because I should also have a door in the middle of this hallway right here going into this room. So let's start with the obvious. Okay, offset 30 inches. That means this one goes up 30 inches and this one comes down 30 inches. This being a 5068 door means it's 2.5 feet, which is 30 inches right and 30 inches left of that one. So I can now delete this middle mark. Okay, those are ready to trim out. This door right here, this door right here, this door right here are all 2.5 feet. So I offset 1'3" or 15 inches from here to the left, from here to the right, from here to the left, from here to the right, or vice versa, from here to the right and then to the left. Either way gets me the same darn thing. I can now erase the middle markers on those 3. And the last one I gotta do is this one, which is a 1/8 door, which is 9 inches. So it's 1'8" for that door. So that's 12, that's 20 inches. So I can literally go offset 10, so I should be 20-inch door here. Now that bothers me. I need to double check my dimension. That dimension is 2 inches. I don't think it will work. So I'm actually going to take that down to an 18-inch door. So I'm going to actually do this. Offset 9 inches from here up and from here down. Now that should give me a 3-inch area right here. So it's distance from here to here. So I just typed in DI, enter, 3 inches. Reason being, I'm going to draw a rectangle that is right here at 3, 1.5. Okay, that represents a stud. I'm actually going to put an X through it, like if you're looking at it in section. Okay, to make a door jamb, you actually have to have a trimmer stud that is butted up next to a copy Benson. A trimmer stud that is butted up next to a king stud, and that goes in the wall and sits just about like this. Well, if you don't have the right space, it doesn't work. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so undo. Now I'm going to double check a couple things here real quick before I get too far into this. Make sure my distance is right. Yep, 3.5. Okay, so we're all good here. So now I just got to do some trimming. CR, enter, enter. And I can start trimming out things that all I want to go away to leave holes for doors in my floor plan. Okay, so I'm just panning and zooming through this to make all the door openings. And there we are. I have a floor plan underway for a basic house now. That's it. That's taken a while. I'm sorry, but that's where we're at with it. Thanks for your time. Bye.